This is the Jack Murphy Podcast. Here's your host, Jack Murphy.
Welcome back to the Jack Murphy Podcast. We got a full house today. Look at that. Cousin Daniel's here, Alpha the actor, and your host, Jack Murphy, all here today. And we want to welcome you to the podcast. And we encourage you to subscribe and like the video because you're gonna be informed and you're gonna learn things that's gonna help you survive in today's society, both health-wise and mentally, as an active older person. Yes. Now, I want to start. Let's get all the crap I hate to talk about out of the way. You know, the liberal nonsense, the liberal BS. Okay, can we do that? Just get that out of the way.
How about you love talking about that?
The problem is it's every day. It's something crazier and more absurd every day. For instance, today, we got a lady named Leah Fink is a she's a man who dresses up like a woman and is in the Minnesota State Legislature. And, there are federal laws about porn on the internet that goes to children, state laws about that. She says that it's important that we allow young people, particularly trans people, to watch porn so they can learn how to have sex. Like they couldn't, like none of us figured it out ourselves, You
mentioned the Paxton case. And the AGs in many states are very clear about that. They're almost jubilant about being able to use these laws to ban young people from accessing content that could be educational if they are queer.
By the way, that's porn. That's queer porn she's talking about.
Educational. You're a principal. You have LGBT students in your school. And we also know that they're not receiving sex education for queer kids. We know that prurient interest.
Alpha, what does that word mean?
Prurient.
Like Puritan.
Well, sort of, but it's curious interest. They want to find out more about sexual things and the sort of deviant variety.
All right.
Could be, for many people, the very existence of transgender kids. More and more people are saying there simply are no transgender kids.
We think it's a mental illness. That's what we think. But I don't think we need to allow them access to porn. Look, straight kids, we didn't need porn to figure out how to have sex.
We just
it was trial and error, and
mostly
that was
error.
Yeah, and that was the fun of it. That was the try. I mean, you don't know what you're doing till you get in your 30s, probably. You know what I'm saying?
When you wander out behind the barn and you see the cows and the bulls, and you go, "Well, that looks like fun."
Yeah. So why should these trans or queer people have a leg up on all the other kids?
It's just another way for them to recruit and
exactly
turn people into their side.
That's right.
I'll have to send you this video of a so-called trans comic who's on stage, and very large person says if they won't let us into their bathrooms, we just need to start killing their children.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, try that. See how that works.
It got laughs and applause from the audience. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Try that and see how it works.
But what's wrong with having their own bathroom? That's what I've never understood.
Well, the thing is, then it's business owners have to spend money to build another bathroom. They got enough regulations as it is. That's part of it, I think.
Well, every time Missy opens a door, we have to go through all kinds of crazy stuff in Virginia. It's unreal. You have to have a water fountain.
Oh,
you have to have all this other stuff.
Handicap access.
So you know what we do? We put a water fountain in the back room.
Yeah. You don't have to have trans access. My favorite one of those is I went in a place, I can't remember where I was, but it's at the beach or something. And you know how they like to put mark the male-female bathrooms with something cute, like they'll have a hen or a rooster or whatever.
Yeah.
One of them had Bruce Jenner, and then they had Bruce Jenner after he went for the women's bathroom. I thought it was pretty funny.
That's pretty funny.
All right, so the porn fight, we got that out of the way. They're fighting for trans and queer kids to have porn, teach them how to do it. And did you know, now I didn't know this, but did you know that milk from a cow is racist?
Yeah.
You did know?
Yeah, raw milk, they say, is racist, yes.
Well, here's some white, liberal, left-wing woman in Wisconsin trying to explain why milk is racist.
Please ask for the science-based regimens, not whatever RFK Jr. is getting kickbacks on, or whatever whole milk, white supremacy, dog whistling that's happening right now. I'm getting a little too political, but
You think getting a little too political?
What? I don't get it. Can you explain it to us, Alpha? You have a degree from Virginia Tech in some sort of animal husbandry or some sort of agronomy or something. Explain what she's talking about.
That defies all logic. It's the same type of logic that a few years ago, I don't know if you remember this, but people were saying that peanut butter and jelly sandwiches were racist because kids who come across the border don't eat peanut butter and jelly. So if you serve peanut butter and jelly, it's because you're a white supremacist. So if you serve peanut butter,
so we want to make everybody eat tacos.
And then probably because milk comes from a female cow.
If it came from a bull, they'd be fine. I don't understand.
You
what
wouldn't want any of that.
What?
it would taste totally different.
How is wanting raw milk dog whistling racism? I fail to see the. I don't grasp. Maybe I'm dumb.
Evidently we all are. But,
Good grief. All right, one final serious thing. I tell you, this guy's becoming one of my favorite. My three favorite politicians right now are Marco Rubio, J.D. Vance, and Tim Burchett from Tennessee, from the state of Tennessee. He is a truth teller, I'll tell you, and he don't care. In fact, I don't know if you've seen him, but he just came out and said the other day, I'm Tim Burchett, and I'll tell you what, that whole Kennedy thing was a lie. Oswald was a patsy. He said he sat through a hearing and, Kennedy was killed, but not by Oswald. And then he said he's been going to these UFO hearings, and he goes, I'm Tim Burchett, and I'll tell you right now, UFOs are real, and there's a bunch of them living in the ocean. And he said they've got all these Navy people and scientists who have seen these massive objects moving underwater at unbelievably high speeds that we can't do it. I mean, moving at high speed underwater is something you can't do.
And moving quietly.
Yeah, like the fastest fish in the water in little spurts, I think, is maybe the wahoo or the sailfish, and I think they can go 50 or 60 just, for a tiny bit. He says these things are moving at like hundreds of miles an hour underwater, which is unbelievable. But he said he's gonna spill the beans on it. But here he is talking about the Epstein files, and I agree with him 100%.
For the record, I don't think Epstein killed himself. I don't care if. I think it goes very, very deep. It's not a sickness, it's demonic. You can cure a sickness. And there's a reason in the Bible when they would go into these areas that they were into this debauchery, they would kill everybody because everybody's infected with it.
Right.
That's around it. And it's a horrible thing. It's interesting that the Democrats are mad that we released the files, some of the files, because it names some names of some of the victims because they wanted the stuff out so fast. You've got a real problem there that some of the victims want to be named or released and some don't. And there's been some accidents that have happened. And I hope that will know the truth, but I honestly don't think it will on this side of the grave. I think the Lord's going to do his justice, and I mean that with all sincerity. I would hang every dadgum one of them. I've sponsored some of the toughest laws in the country. It is so widespread, and it's been covered up, and we need justice, and we need the death penalty, and we need those people eliminated quickly.
Yeah. I think you see why me and Tim Burchett have so much in common.
Death penalty.
Death penalty.
Yeah.
We're for it.
Plus,
in fact, I've got a few new examples for the death penalty today. What, Alpha?
Well, there is evidence that Epstein hid more information, more files in various storage units all around the country. So they're uncovering some of those and finding more information. So we'll see what comes out of that.
So are you two certain that Epstein's dead?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Yeah. I don't have a clue. I
don't either. I've seen some photos. I don't know if they're AI. They look pretty real, of a guy with long hair and a beard walking around in Israel, but, who knows?
Well, I think of the choices, did he kill himself? Was he murdered, or is he still alive?
Murdered.
I think the one that's most likely was he was murdered, because he didn't kill himself. He may still be alive.
Too many people were terrified of the information he had, so they wanted him dead. And I wouldn't be surprised if Hillary Clinton's the one that went in there and did it.
Death penalty.
Death penalty for her for certain, no doubt about it. Got to give it to her.
Maybe Jennifer Crockett was with her.
So really the bottom line is voter suppression. And I agree with him 100%. It's a brilliant notion that less voter ID laws allows more people to vote. And most democracies do it that way. We're the only ones that really don't do it that way.
Right. All right. I would, in most situations, I would call for the death penalty for this guy. And I'm going to have to say he's mentally ill.
So caning?
Nah, not even that. Probably.
Okay.
Let's just put him in the insane asylum and put him on some heavy medication for the rest of his days. Because I told you about the incident I had a few weeks ago. I'm on my way to church on Sunday morning, and I'm on it's a 4-lane road with a turn lane in the middle, and there's a guy in the most unlikely vehicle doing this, a Subaru Outback. And it was a man driving.
And it wasn't a woman.
Very unusual. And the guy had the back open, Daniel, and he's stuffing a deer into the back of the car. Apparently, he'd hit the deer and killed it, and he's going to take it home, and he stuffed it.
Are you sure he wasn't in Appomattox and didn't know?
No, this was in a busy area of South Carolina near Lake Wiley. But this guy, he ran across one on the side of the road. He had a little different idea for his deer.
This Kentucky man is behind bars after police said he had sexual intercourse with a dead deer.
Oh.
So the man was identified as Alan Osborne.
Hey, that might have been Appomattox.
And officials with the Central City Police Department say a man driving through the area called 911 and reported a man on the side of the road appearing to have intercourse with roadkill.
Look at this. This guy's so embarrassed he can't even look up at the camera. And the police, they don't even bother make him look up. He's just there.
In his defense,
so how do you what's the new label for that? We got to come up with one.
Well, it's necrobestiality.
Yeah, necrobestiality.
Roadkill. Officers found Alan Osborne covered in the deer's fur and blood, and he was taken to the Muhlenberg County Detention Center. Officials say he was charged with sexual crimes against animals. Just insane.
Hey, buddy, you got a little fur on you, does
it? In his defense, you ever tried?
Wait a minute. There's a defense?
Well, I'm sure there will be. There'll have to be.
What possible defense could there be?
There'll be some lawyer that'll figure it out. Let's
hear it, Mr. Attorney.
Have you ever tried to make love to a live deer? Those things are fast.
No, I haven't. I do remember years ago one time I was on the radio and we had this story about some guy who had been arrested a couple of different times for he got caught with horses or ponies. And it had happened a couple of times. And finally the judge said, the last time, if it ever happens again, you're going away, to jail permanently. And he was working at some farm or something, and the guy didn't know about his past. And the guy came into work early one morning. He had a quote from the police. He said, "Yeah, it was just him and the horse, and his pants were down." I'll never forget that quote. The guy was like, he's in shock, about it. But I normally would give this guy the death penalty. He's obviously mentally ill.
Obviously.
I just can't imagine. I mean, what would make anyone do that? I mean,
there's an old joke about camels, and I don't know if I should share it here or not. But
oh boy, here we go.
on Thursday, there at this place in the Middle East, they would bring the camels in, and you could go have fun with the camels. And so one guy was there; he couldn't believe it, and so these other guys got up, and they got up early to run to go do this. He said, "You're actually running to go have sex with a camel?" He said, "Well, you don't want to get an ugly one, do you?"
That'd make a good reality show. Fun with the camels.
Yeah. But there are some sick there are some sick people out there. Here's another one. Now, this guy, I'm going to go with death penalty for this guy.
All right.
Because it involves a child. Here's a reporter explaining what happened.
Montgomery County Police are looking for more victims after a disturbing incident at a Dave & Buster's. So get this, they say a man walked up to a 10-year-old child, removed that child's socks and shoes, and then smelled their feet. Yeah, really bizarre here. 30-year-old Christopher Simpson is now facing assault charges. So this incident happened back in September at the Dave & Buster's in Silver Spring. Again, police believe he may have done this to other children as well. So they're asking anyone with any information.
He's kind of got that look. What was that? What's that female artist that just did the thing at the Grammys about stolen land and then they showed up at her house.
Billie Eilish.
Billie Eilish. He's kind of got that Billie Eilish look,
sort of.
To give them a call.
That close look,
I'm going to have to go death penalty on that one because his next step will be, sexually abusing a child will be his next thing.
This is Coco. She's an active older German Shepherd dog from Charlotte, North Carolina. This is Kathy. She's an active older woman from Fargo, Minnesota. And this is Kevin. He's an active older adult male from Lake Hiawatha, New Jersey. What do these three have in common? They all listen to the Jack Murphy podcast. Plus, they subscribed and get notifications every time a new episode drops. The Jack Murphy podcast, the podcast for active older adults. Like and subscribe today.
I've got a couple of heroes today in the news. Yeah. I'd like to get these people made me laugh. And we are a serious podcast for active older people, but we like to have a good time while doing it, right?
Yeah, of course. Yes.
And everybody has their own style, their own look that they have. I just love this guy. Check out this guy's shoes.
My man got on them. What the fuck are those? He got Cadillacs on his toes. What the fuck is wrong with you, bro?
I apologize for the language. I didn't know that the F word was in that video, but he epoxied Cadillac emblems to his shoes.
That's for people who got class.
You can't hide money.
Yeah.
That's when you want to go to a party and be the conversation piece. That's it right there.
That's like having a 2-story mobile home.
Yes. You just can't hide money.
Can't hide money.
He tore them off somebody's Cadillac and epoxied them to his shoes. So he's one of my heroes today. Now, the other one, I actually have 3 heroes, but I love this guy. He's this old guy that he does a thing on Instagram, and I'm following him now. The first time I saw his video, I started following him. He ranks people that he's outlived. He ranks people that he's outlived. Check this out. That's his whore ex-wife, Nancy.
Okay.
Cheated on him with his friend, Ron. Cheated on him with his friend, his whore ex-wife, Nancy. That's his friend, Ron. He apologized, but I'm glad he's still dead. All right, now these are other women he's been with.
She's cute.
My second wife, Leanne, who broke me. It says, what is it? I can't read it. He broke for a long time. She broke me for a long time. Rest in peace, Leanne. I love you, Ladybug. All right. Let's see what else he's got here. 98 sure she's the reason Leanne passed. What does it say below that? Can you read it?
I can't read that.
When I posted it, I had it on my phone. Let me see here. No, I can't read it. But he didn't like her, I can tell you that. Bye-bye, Nina. Oh. There's Aunt Charlotte. She's dead, but she's just a cheapskate. You gotta love somebody that is that honest. I mean, you just have to.
Last one might have fell off her broom.
I don't know, but
He's just a cheapskate.
I can't wait to see more of his videos on Instagram. Then this is great. And how many of you have you done, Daniel? Have you ever done one of those 23andMe DNA things?
I did the Ancestry.
Ancestry one. You did too. I did one of them because I don't know, probably 25 years ago or so, I tried to do our family genealogy because I'd heard so many different stories about where we were from, and so I actually paid this lady. For some reason, the Mormons are really into this genealogy thing.
Yeah, they have the most complete record of genealogy in the world.
So I paid this woman a couple of $100 to do our genealogy, and within a couple of days, she called me back. She said, "Look, I'm not going to take your money because there's somebody who's already done it." And she put me in touch with this lady in Tennessee, and she didn't. And I said, "Well, where are we from?" She said, "Well, we're not exactly certain, but we are doing a DNA test, and we'd love to add you and your children's DNA to the database because we're asking people all over Europe." Because
one of those aliens.
I literally had my first ancestor was an indentured servant who came to Virginia in like the 1600s and worked on a tobacco plantation and probably couldn't read or write. And so the person, when he got there, just wrote down what he thought he heard. And I'm sure he had some sort of an accent or whatever. But anyway, we did the 23andMe, and it came back, and it was like, we're 3% African, and I guess everybody is or whatever. But this guy did something cool. He swabbed his pet lizard and sent it in, and listen to what came back.
Check this out. This guy was convinced 23andMe wasn't legit, so he decided to take some of the saliva from his lizard and send in some lizard DNA. Just try it out. See what 23andMe comes back with, and you would be shocked. It comes back with a makeup of 40% Iranian, Caucasian, 6%, whatever, all the different percentages showing all the different places that you've come from, even like what kind of food you'd like, what area you've come from.
Crazy.
There's a lizard.
That's that.
I didn't see any bugs on that.
That company isn't that one of the Google founders' wife's company? I think it's Sergey Brin's wife started that company, and it had this gigantic valuation for a while. And supposedly they were going to use it for medical breakthroughs and everything, and none of that happened. It just became kind of a hobby. And now people do it, like my daughter. I don't know why. She has all these stray dogs, like 3 of them, and she sends their DNA in, pays, good money to find out what. I said, why? Why do you want to waste $60 finding out that he's a mix of 8 different? I just want to know. All right, go ahead. But yeah, it's a scam.
Well, I think it proves the theory that we are inhabited by a race of lizard people. So they have infiltrated various places. It had Ashkenazi Jews on there, which are Eastern European. It had Iranians. It had So
maybe Tim Burchett will find out when we get to the bottom of those people in the ocean that are running around hundreds of miles an hour.
That's where it's coming from.
Well, there in South Carolina, they have the lizard man that runs around in the woods.
Well, no, but we had the Goatman in Georgia when I was a kid. Remember him, Daniel? Daniel, did you ever see the Goatman?
I think I have seen pictures of him.
I actually saw him one time. I'll never forget.
Are you talking about the guy that has a big old
He had a wagon with crap hanging on.
He came through Appomattox.
He comes through everywhere. He had a wagon, and it had stuff hanging all over it, and he had a team of about 20 goats. Have you ever heard this, Alpha? You know anything about this?
Yes, I've heard about it, here in Georgia.
Well, anyway, one day, my dad came home all excited, and he goes, "Come on, quick, we're going up the Goatman's here." And I went, "All right." And we climb in the Volkswagen and drive up there, and he's this nasty-looking old man with overalls that look like they've never been washed, and he lives in this little covered wagon, and he was preaching the gospel as he went through the South, and he went all over the South and was famous. I've got some pictures of him somewhere, but he traveled for
how old he ended up being.
I've heard a couple of, you can Google it if you want to, Alpha. How did the Goatman die? Would you? Because I heard one story that he got hit by a tractor trailer truck, and it killed him and wiped out the goats. And then I just heard he got too old to keep doing it, and he had settled in some town. But I'm not certain whatever happened to him. But he came through Cedartown. There's a picture of him going down Main Street, and there's a picture of him at this place where we went and saw him. It was like a little gas station convenience store right outside town.
Well, says here the Goatman's death remains a mystery.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hillary Clinton. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, well.
Jack, did any of your family get to go see Trump in Rome?
No. My sister Andrea would be the only one. She did. Now, a lot of my classmates, I have a girl that I grew up with named Julie Cooey, and she owns a barbecue place in Rome, the Old Timers Barbecue, and she's a real big Trump supporter. And she was out in front of her house with the flags, and she took a picture of him coming by in the Beast, and he waved at her, and she's got a snapshot of it. But no, they didn't go. He went to the varsity while he was there.
Well, everybody goes to the varsity, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you have?
Is the Rome varsity the original?
No, Atlanta is.
Atlanta is, yeah.
Now,
but
they closed the one in Athens.
They're closing the one in Atlanta.
Yeah, they closed the one in Athens.
They're going to build
a big.
Somebody bought it. They're going to build. That's a shame that they're going to do that.
Yeah.
There's more. Actually, there's more on the Goatman.
Let's have it. Give me the Goatman.
Well, let's see. He was an American itinerant wanderer, traveled up and down the eastern United States. Early years, travel rig, life on the road. Later years, the son of Albert.
I don't hear anything new, Alpha. I'm just hearing a lot of BS.
Doesn't say anything about how he died. So I mean, he may have been like the Dread Pirate Roberts. There would always be another Goatman to come along.
I mean, I was a little boy when I saw him, and he was already pretty old. So,
well, that's why I was asking, because he came through here. It probably wasn't but about 10 or 12 years ago. 15 years ago, maybe.
No, that's not true. That was an imitation Goatman.
That must have someone else.
I bet you didn't know this. He got off the road for a while, and then he became infatuated with the actress Morgan Fairchild.
Ooh, I was too.
Come on, you're making this up.
So
wait a minute.
He tried to get to California.
Do you mean Morgan Fairchild?
Yeah, that's the ticket. And Morgan Fairchild, whom I've seen naked.
I never heard this. I'm going to have to investigate this after the podcast.
He lived out his years in a nursing home in Macon and died in 1998.
Okay, there you go. That's there it is, the Goatman's finale in Macon, Georgia.
After trying to woo Morgan Fairchild.
Now, look, I don't want this to sound racist. But
why didn't you have to say that?
Because it's you know how smart Asian people are.
Yes.
I mean, you go to any school district anywhere in America, and the Asian kids do better than everybody else, pretty much. I mean, it's not 100%, but they. By the way, I've had some comments on the podcast. They go, "What are Daniel and Alpha drinking all during the podcast? Y'all are both just Are y'all drinking beer or they want to know water? Okay,
water."
Anyway, Asian people are really smart, and I'm beginning to think that Asian people may know something that we don't. And I'll tell you why. There's a lot of Asian people in my neighborhood, and they're very quiet. They keep to themselves. I'm kind of gregarious. I like to talk to everybody. They're hard to talk. They don't talk a whole lot. But I saw it yesterday, and at first I went, they're so stupid. And then I went, maybe they know something I don't. There are two Asian people. We live very near a Harris Teeter grocery store. They're walking single file about 10 feet apart down the sidewalk with Harris Teeter bags in their hands, and they're both wearing masks.
They always wear masks.
And the wind's blowing 30 miles an hour, and it's 35 degrees, and I'm thinking, do they know something about a virus that I don't know, or are they just being extra cautious? So why would you have a mask on out on the sidewalk? And then I started thinking about that, and I've been noticing a lot of Asian people wearing masks in their car or at the grocery store. Appomattox, same thing, Daniel?
Yeah. Let's wear anywhere I've been, Atlanta, I mean, Alpha can probably tell you in Atlanta, they wear them all the time.
Yeah, you see them quite a bit around here. Yeah.
What's the theory on that?
Don't know.
Do they know something we don't
I think
know?
they're just super paranoid about catching something.
I think they do it a lot in Japan, and they've done it for years, not just since COVID.
Because they don't know what their country's going to put out and kill everybody.
Yeah, maybe so.
Sure.
Maybe they got a call from China saying, get ready for the next. Because every few months I'll read a story somewhere, but there's a new virus sweeping China that, they're finding people bleeding out in the streets from their ears and nose. And maybe, I'll go, oh boy, that sounds fun. And then, nothing ever happens. So I just wonder if they know something we don't. I don't know.
That's maybe they do.
All right, I have a couple of health tips because we, again, are the podcast for active older people about keeping
very
in
healthy
shape.
podcast.
Right. Our parents were apparently on to something when they told us to eat our vegetables, according to researchers. Eating more carnivorous vegetables, is that the way you say that, Alf?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep.
Such as broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, cabbage, could be the key to better blood vessel health, which is where strokes come from, right?
Mm-hmm. Crucifixus, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that the word?
Crucifixus, right.
Cruciferous.
Cruciferous.
Yeah.
Broccoli, Brussels. I eat a lot of broccoli and Brussels sprouts and some cabbage. I'm not. I don't do. I'll start eating more cauliflower.
Well, see, and that goes to what we talked about once before on the show about because all those things will make you fart, and smelling farts makes you live longer.
Stops dementia.
That's right.
All right. So hold on. I'm on. This is a PSA.
All right.
If you're not immune, or if you don't have the tolerance for this, don't eat pinto beans for 2 straight days.
Oh, yeah, I know. That's a bad move right there.
I thought I had the tickleitis this morning.
I love pinto beans.
I love them. I love them.
You can't eat them 2 days in a row.
I've had them for 2 days, and I thought I was going to
die. You may have staved off dementia for another couple of years.
Right. Anyway, listen, the bottom line is if you eat a quarter cup of that stuff every day, you're 46% less likely to have calcium buildup in your aortic blood vessel. That's pretty big.
It is big.
And then the other thing is antibiotics may have saved us from a lot of things, but according to a new study, they also spell trouble for our stomachs. Harvard Medical School says that the use of antibiotics is associated with the increased risk of getting inflammatory bowel disease.
Oh.
Toss up. Die of pneumonia or the inflammatory bowel disease? Well, Daniel and I think I'd rather have the pneumonia, wouldn't you, Daniel?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Because the tickleitis is no fun. I can tell you.
No,
that
you don't want no
now.
tickleitis.
That stuff hurts. It's very, very painful. Alpha mentioned this briefly before the podcast that what is it you call them? The Huffing and Puffington Post?
The Huffing and Puffington Post.
I haven't heard a lot about them in a long time. That Arianna Huffington that started that. Does she still run it? Is she still there? Because she was a real political player there for a minute and then just vanished. Very liberal, and she hung out with who's that? Who was that feminist lawyer I can't stand? The one that anytime there's anything, she's the lawyer for them. If anybody's been, any woman has had, she's Gloria. Is it Gloria? Gloria Allred. Yeah, they were big buddies, but she was a big lib, whatever. But Huffington Post said, if you're bothered by all the flag waving by people around the Olympics and it makes you feel uncomfortable, you're not alone.
Yeah.
People, it's a turnoff to be waving the flag and chanting USA, USA following the record gold medal victories at the Winter Olympics. Amid all the fervor, HuffPost said, if it turns you off, you're not alone. It does us too. And then that's all they say. They don't say why or whatever.
Alpha, maybe they need to flee the country again, like the girl that you sent us about going to Canada.
Yeah, there's a great video. She fled to Canada because she couldn't stand life in America under Donald Trump. And so then she did a video out saying, it's more expensive here. I don't have any freedom. I can't access anything, because I know from years ago doing stand-up, you couldn't go to Canada and work somewhere if there was somebody in Canada who could do that same job. They wouldn't allow you to come there and work.
Exactly. There are, and Mexico's the same way.
Yeah.
Mexico is the same way. And, Mexico, you can't even buy land if it's within, I think it's 100 miles of a body of water. Oh. You can only lease it for 100 years. And if there's a job that a Mexican can do, you're not allowed to take it. So you couldn't go to Mexico and work, for instance. If there was somebody
that's what she was saying. She can't afford to live. She can't get a job. She can't access. Yeah.
Now, Daniel, tomorrow I want to ask you if you've ever heard of this guy before, because I saw a video. We'll play it tomorrow. There's a guy. Have you ever heard of a guy named Daniel Johnston?
I don't think so.
Well, he was an American singer, musician, and artist, and nobody had really ever heard of him. Most of his work consisted of cassettes that he recorded in his parents' basement on a cheap pawn shop guitar. And he spent a lot of time in psychiatric institutions, and he had bipolar disorder. But anyway, he worked at a McDonald's in Austin, Texas, and he would hand out cassettes of his music. And within a little while of that, Kurt Cobain was wearing T-shirts of him. And his songs, after his death, have been recorded by a lot of people. He kind of is a dadgummit, what's the guy's name? I hate being old.
Buddy.
Anyway, tomorrow I've located some video of him. John Prine. He kind of sings that kind of songs, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, doesn't have a great voice, not a great guitar player or anything like that, but the songs are real interesting. Anyway, tomorrow on the podcast, we're gonna play a clip of this guy's stuff and see what you think about it.
And since you mentioned Kurt Cobain, there's new information out about him that he did not commit suicide.
Murdered.
There was even some suggestions that Courtney Love may have been the murderer.
That's not the first time that's been proposed.
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything about that.
Yeah, I read that about a month ago that somebody said now it was definitely a murder, not a suicide. But there used to be a rumor, like right after it happened, that she had killed him. But I don't know.
Well, she was crazy.
Yeah,
So
and I haven't heard anything else about that in a long time.
Yeah,
well, that's all. That's all the information I can bring to you, active older people today. Do you two have anything else?
Well, let's see if I had anything. There's of course the State of the Union is tonight, and I guess the men's hockey team is going to be there. And there should be,
but most of the Democrats are not going to be there. Apparently,
exactly. There'll be
That's why there's seats left for all the players.
Plenty of prime seats.
They're having their own halftime show tonight.
Some people who are so incensed about that. There's this one woman who posted this thing. I hope that when the men's U.S. hockey team issues their official apology, I hope that nobody forgives them.
And
oh my God, I can't figure why people are.
Last one out of California, turn off the lights. Public Storage moving their headquarters out of L.A. to Texas.
Oh, great!
So
more and more going to Texas.
Yeah,
excellent. Get on out of there like everybody else is. Well, anyway, I want to thank you for being here, checking out the Jack Murphy podcast today. If you haven't, subscribe down below. Leave a comment. We love to get your comments, too. Like this episode. You have a great day. And Daniel and I will be back tomorrow with another Jack Murphy podcast.
Thanks for watching the Jack Murphy Podcast. Remember to like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Go ahead, ring it. Get alerts when a new episode drops. And tell your friends about the Jack Murphy Podcast. But only the cool friends, please. Tune in next time for another episode of the Jack Murphy Podcast.